All right, so we're going to continue on with our integers. How do I multiply and divide integers? So the first thing I want you guys to do is take some time, so pause the video, and use a calculator and go ahead and solve the double-digit multiplication and division below. So pause the video and you're going to fill in this chart. All right, let's get some answers. So 14 times 12 gives you 168. Negative 12 times negative 12 gives you positive 144. Negative 34 times negative 65 gives you positive 2,210. 23 times negative 89 gives you negative 2,047. Negative 90 times positive 42 gives you negative 3,780. Dividing, 40 divided by 10 gives you 4. Negative 90 divided by negative 9 gives you positive 10. 16 divided by negative 4 gives you negative 4. Negative 75 divided by 25 gives you negative 3. Okay, so we're going to use the numbers in the chart above to answer your questions below. So I'm going to start right here. Look at the chart above. What did you get when you multiplied positive numbers? So looking at box number 1 right here, when we multiplied positive numbers, was our answer positive or negative? So our answer was positive. It was a positive 168. Question 2. What did you get when you multiplied negative numbers? So negative numbers, negative 12 times negative 12, negative 34 times negative 65. So when we multiplied our negative numbers, we got positive answers. What did you get when you multiplied different signs? So we have positive 23 times negative 89, and then negative 90 times positive 42. And both of those answers you can see are negative answers. Okay? So then we're going to answer the same questions, but dealing with division. When looking at the chart above, what did you get when you divided positive numbers? So positive 40 divided by positive 10 gave us a positive 4. What did we get when we divided negative numbers? So negative 90 divided by negative 9 gave us a positive 10. What did you get when you divided different signs? So we got positive 16 divided by negative 4, negative 75 divided by positive 25. So we got different signs, but our answers are negative. Okay? So looking back, I'm going to try and flip back and forth, but you can see on your paper. So if we have same signs, so our same signs are going to be two positives being multiplied together and two negatives being multiplied together. Okay, so when we have two positives or two negatives, our answer is going to be positive. Okay. Same thing with dividing right here. When we divided two positive numbers, our answer was positive. When we divided two negatives, our answer was positive. So if we're multiplying or dividing the same sign, our answer is going to be the same. Okay, what about different signs? So that's when we're looking at the number 3's here. When we multiplied different signs and we divided different signs, our answers were negatives. Okay, so those are the rules for multiplying and dividing integers. So they are the exact same for multiplication and division. So using this chart above, we're going to do activity 2. Without a calculator, tell me whether the answers are going to be positive or negative. So we'll do the first two together. So we have a positive times a negative, which are different signs. So our answer is going to be a negative. Okay, that's all I want you to do. You don't need to give me a numerical answer. You just need to tell me whether it's positive or negative. So I'll do another one with you. Negative 5 times negative 9, so we have a negative times a negative. Same signs, so your answer is going to be a positive. So go ahead and do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pause the video while you're working. All right, looking at 3, we have a negative divided by a negative, so same sign. So our answer is a positive. We have a negative divided by a positive, different signs, so your answer should be negative. Number 5, we have a positive times a negative, which is different, so our answer is negative. We have negative 4 times negative 9, so same sign, our answer is a positive. Okay, this one looks a little intense, but you just got to take it step by step. So we have a negative times a negative, so you have a positive. We then have a positive times a negative, which will give me a negative. And then a negative times a positive, so my answer should be a negative. Then we have a positive divided by a negative, so our answer is going to be negative. Okay, so just double check your answers. Go ahead and do activity 3 without a calculator. So my suggestion to you, go through and fill in the signs first, and then go ahead and multiply the numbers. Pause the video while you're working. All right, let's take a look. So number 1, we have a positive times a positive, so same sign, so we know our answer is going to be positive. 5 times 6 is 30. We have a negative 4 times a negative 7, so a negative times a negative, so we know our answer is going to be a positive. 4 times 7 is 28. We have a negative 9 times 2, so a negative times a positive, so we know our answer is going to be negative. 9 times 2 is 18. 10 times negative 4, so we have a positive times a negative, so we know our answer is going to be negative, and 10 times 4 is 40. Positive 8 divided by positive 4 gives you positive 2. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 gives you a positive 2. Negative 15 divided by 3 gives you a negative 5. And 6 divided by 3 gives you a negative 2. So just double check your answers to make sure they match. All right, so then we got some real world problems here. A person has a debt of $200. 5 friends offer to pay off all of the debt. How much money does each person need to pay in order to pay off the debt? Okay, so if we have a debt of 200, that means we have a negative 200. 5 friends are offering to pay the debt. Okay, so each is telling us we need to divide because we need to figure out how much money is one person paying. Okay, so we got 200 divided by 5. 5 cannot go into 2. 5 can go into 20 4 times. 5 can't go into 0, and we're done. So we know a negative divided by a positive is negative. And then your answer is 40. So that negative sign represents that these people are going to be losing $40 to pay this total debt. Number 2, a sprinkler was negative 8 feet below ground level. Mr. S has a machine that digs negative 2 feet at a time. How many digs does he need to make in order to reach the sprinkler? Okay. So I'm going to draw a picture first. So here's our ground. The sprinkler is 8 feet down here. Okay? Mr. S has a machine that is digging 2 feet at a time. So there's 2 feet, there's 2 feet, there's 2 feet. Okay, until you get all the way to 8 feet. So how many digs does he need in order to reach the sprinkler? Okay, so we need to figure out how many sections of 2 feet that this sprinkler needs to go. So again, we are dividing. So -8 divided by -2 is going to be a positive. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So how many digs does he make in order to reach the sprinkler? 4 digs, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, word problem practice. Go ahead and pause this while you work on your 2 practice problems. The temperature drops 2 degrees each hour. What is the total change in temperature after 12 hours? Okay, so it's dropping 2 degrees, so that means it's going down 2 degrees each hour. What is the total change in temperature after 12 hours? Okay, so total change means we're going to multiply, and it's changing over 12 hours. So 2 times 12 is 24. Negative times a positive is a negative. So what is the total change in temperature? The total change is 24 degrees. So that negative sign represents that the temperature is dropping a total of 24 degrees in 12 hours. Next one. Maggie owes the candy store $35. Each of 5 friends will help her pay off the debt. How much will each friend pay? Okay, so Maggie owes $35. She has 5 friends. Each is telling us we need to divide because we need to figure out how much one friend is paying. So we got -35 divided by 5, so that gives us 7. Negative divided by a positive is going to give us a -7. So that negative sign in this case represents that they are paying somebody, they owe somebody $7.